So I wanted to take this video as a way to help you build right now a deeper and more loving relationship with the way that you are. Because the way that you are, there is something deeply important and filled with wisdom in the way that you are. You wouldn't be the way that you are if there wasn't a deep purpose for you being exactly at the time and place that you're in right now, exactly in the situation and circumstance of your life. But a lot of times, what I've witnessed is that there's a part in our mind that always feels like we should be further ahead. We should be at a different place. We should already be here where we're still here. Maybe we're not at a level of success in our career, or we're not at a level of relationship that we want to have. And so oftentimes what happens is that we push against ourselves in this moment, and we push away and we reject who we are in this moment and visualizing a better version of ourselves. But as ambitious and inspiring as that can be, sometimes when we envision a better version of ourselves, while we look down on the version that we are right now, it creates a certain inner friction and pressure that isn't ultimately the most loving and direct and most powerful path to you actually evolving at the deepest and most mature rate of speed. And so I want to talk about how we can build a more loving relationship with the way that we are, and how sacred this practice is, and how deeply needed for our heart this practice is of deepening the relationship with the way that we are. And so to drop into that in an experiential way, I want you to first see through the illusion in some way, the illusion of should be different, have to be different, am supposed to be different. Because when we are wired in that way and thinking in that way, and the thoughts that are most present in our experience are around needing to be different. I should be different. I have to be different. I need to be different. I want you to witness for a moment how much pressure that creates for a part of you that is the way that he or she is right now. How much pressure that is placing on you to constantly bombard yourself with this idea of should be or have to be more, right? And how it doesn't actually lead to ease and relaxation in our nervous system, to a sense of peace in us. And that the movement then towards more or different already is inspired by this pressureful place. It's inspired by a resistance and a pushing away of who we are right now. And I think there is where the issue resides, is that we haven't first come into deeper acceptance and wholeness and intimacy with ourselves and in connection to ourselves. But we are prioritizing the image we have of ourselves in our mind that we have to be or should be or match, right? But the beautiful thing about the present moment is that the present moment never lies. The present moment always presents to you the exact version of yourself that you are capable of being right now. The present moment is giving you the data of who you are able to be in this very moment, right? And I think there's a certain amount of acceptance we have to come to, that even though we're always growing and evolving, we're always becoming more in the journey. In exactly this precise moment, we couldn't be different. We couldn't have been different, right? And our mind is potentially going to disagree with that. It's going to look back at our past choices, is going to evaluate and analyze our past choices, and going to say, if I would have only done this differently, I would already be at a different place. But do you actually know that that is true? How do you actually know that that is true? How do you, just to offer a contrarian point of view, how do you not know that the way that things unfolded were exactly the way things needed to unfold for you to become the highest, most mature version of yourself in the long run? How do you not how do you know that maybe the lessons and the things that you extracted from your experience, even from making the choices that now you wouldn't make those choices, wasn't exactly what you needed to grow and evolve, right? How do we actually know that we could be in a different place right now? And the more deeply you immerse yourself in the present moment, the more deeply you realize and feel at peace with, hey, I cannot be different right now. I could have never been different right now. In fact, the way that I am right now is the way that things are supposed to be. I am the way that I'm supposed to be. And I just want you to feel for a moment, if you let that in, how does that feel in your nervous system? The way that you are right now is the way that you're supposed to be. How does that feel in your nervous system compared to you should be more, you should be further ahead, you should already be doing more, you should be way more successful than you are, you should already have the relationship of your dreams. If only you weren't in XYZ patterns, you would already be so much more. How does that feel to your nervous system compared to the way that you are right now is exactly the way that you're supposed to be? With all your vulnerabilities, with all your flaws, with all your strengths and qualities that you already developed and evolved. The way that you are right now is the way that you're supposed to be right now. And in the future moments of time, you will be different, and then you will be the way that you're supposed to be then. The mind in us that is constantly pushing for more output in us because we feel like we're not enough, we feel like we're not doing enough, is always going to be striving for that, yet not fully at peace with the way we are. And I believe, and this is my deep belief, is that when our nervous system is relaxed and we've come to a point of accepting and embracing ourselves exactly the way we are, acknowledging our strengths, celebrating our strengths, enveloping our weaknesses in a sense of love and compassion and deep understanding, that is the fruitful ground to actually be growing from. And that the highest and deepest level of your inner evolution comes when you are able to relax into the way you are right now and loving yourself for that and accepting yourself through that. You don't have to like it, you don't always have to enjoy it, but at least that innocence in you, you accept that part of you, you embrace that part of you. And so I'm saying all of this because I feel, especially in the world of corporate and career orientation, we tend to be very hard on ourselves and we tend to look down upon the way that we are, which creates a tremendous amount of suffering and resistance to um, to the way that things simply are. And when there is resistance or a pushback to the way that things are, and we cannot relax into that, we are going to experience a deeper level of suffering, and we're going to feel a deeper level of friction and pressure that is a weight on our shoulders, wearing us down over time, right? And so, what I always teach my clients and the people that I work with is find a deeper state of relaxation in your nervous system right now and find that through a deeper level, like a more sacred, a deeper embodied level of acceptance for the way that you are right now. And maybe when there's so much ease and acceptance with the way that you're now, then you actually have access to the kind of inspiration and ambition that is natural to your soul, but that isn't the kind of pressureful ambition that puts down the version of you that you are today. So I wanted to share that in the hopes that you can feel that in your nervous system again. Compare the two ways. How does it feel to say to yourself, I am exactly the way that I'm supposed to be right now, versus You should be more, you should be different, which can be an internal talk that we just continue looping in until we really see through that and accept ourselves more boldly and more deeply and more consciously.